Is Amazon the dark horse of home internet? Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much once again joining me for tea time. Today we have a little bit of misty morning and focus. So good. I love the bergamot. I do like bergamot. Do you? I hope you're joining me with a cup of tea, maybe a cup of coffee, hanging out, talking tech, talking photo, talking video. Today is a tech day. We're going to be talking about Jeff Bezos, Amazon, and his Project Kuiper, and how it could be that dark horse for home internet, and people that are in rural areas that need high-speed internet access that are not able to get it. So I want to get into this a little bit with you. I was reading an article over on cord cutters, and it was very interesting, and they had a certain take on it. And I want to read through it a little bit with you and then give you my commentary on it. And most importantly, I want to hear what you think about it. So before we get into it, I want to say that if you haven't downloaded any of my ebooks as of yet, go check them out. Go over to JCristina.com/books. They're 100% free. Also, if you like this video, even in the least, please consider giving it a thumbs up. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel as of yet, please consider doing so. And click this little button over here so when I go live or when a new video comes out, you'll be notified of it immediately. And I did go live just a few days ago, and it was awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out with myself as well as Stuart Wood. It was really nice to be able to hang out. He is on the other side of the planet. He's in the UK, and I'm here in Florida, and we were able to come together and have this collaboration. It was a lot of fun. If you didn't watch that, you can go and take a look at the reruns, or maybe join me on my next live show. Also, if you're looking for a VPN, the nice people over there at PureVPN gave us a link. That link is going to give you about 80% off. So not only are you going to get 250-bit encryption, but you also have access to a static IP address as well as port forwarding. So at the cost of about a latte per month, you'll be able to enjoy this VPN service. Go take a look in the comment area, the pinned comment below, as well as the description for that link. So let's get right into this. Now, once again, this is from Cord Cutters. Thank you so much, guys, for writing this. It's really good. It's by Luke, somebody, I believe. Sorry if I didn't get your last name, but they just wrote this article, and I want to read some of it to you because I think that it's very interesting, and it gives us an idea of what Amazon and Jeff Bezos is trying to do. And the question is, can he do it? Is Amazon going to be that dark horse on the horizon that comes and just blasts SpaceX Starlink, pardon the pun, out of the universe, so to speak, and allow them to take over where SpaceX Starlink is as of today? So the article starts out like this. Back in 2019, Amazon announced plans to launch a home internet service. This service would run off low Earth orbit satellites. This is very similar to SpaceX Starlink service, which is already available in many parts of the world. In October, Amazon announced that Project Kuiper would launch more than 3,000 satellites in low Earth orbit to offer this home internet service. To do this, Amazon has announced plans to build the required satellites in Kirkland, Washington. I like that. That's good. Keep these builds in the U.S. instead of abroad. I like it. Amazon has also secured a deal with ULA as well as Arianespace and Blue Horizon to launch these satellites into space early this year, 2023. With this deal, Amazon hopes to launch multiple prototypes into space to test the system before mass production starts. Amazon is facing a deadline as the FCC has given it until mid-2026 to have 1,600 satellites in space or face losing its FCC approval for the project. These satellites will offer far better home internet compared to older satellite home internet service. With faster speeds and lower latency, Amazon is hoping to become a major player in the world of home internet at a time when home internet is becoming more critical than ever. So, what should you expect? SpaceX's Starlink is likely a good example. A recent report from Okla.com says Starlink is averaging about 90.55 megabits down and 9.33 megabits up with a latency of 43 milliseconds. This is a crazy jump for internet speeds for millions of Americans living in rural areas that struggle to get home internet. So, as more satellites have been launched, the speed has increased. The same same is likely to happen with Amazon's home internet. As more people use it, Amazon will have to continue to offer more satellites to handle the demand. This could be huge news for cord cutters if Amazon is able to follow through with their plans. Studies have shown that as more options for home internet come, online pricing has come down and data caps have gone away. For now, though, we have to wait, as we are likely still years away from these networks becoming fully built out. Now, I think that this is all great, and I love that Cord Cutters has put this piece together, and they're talking about the possibility of Jeff Bezos' Amazon competing directly with SpaceX Starlink. What I don't see here is why these folks over there at Cord Cutters don't get it that this is not possible. Now, that's just my opinion. Now, of course, it is possible, but it's just highly unlikely. And as they state in this piece, they are employing ULA as well as Arianespace and Blue Horizon to launch those satellites into space. Some of those things have failed already. It is a very difficult task to do. And also that Amazon does not have its own launch site, number one. And number two, they can't reuse these rockets. That means it's going to be very expensive to do because every time they launch a set of satellites up there, the rocket falls back into the ocean, is all contaminated with salt water, and chances of it working again is probably unlikely. Can they? Yeah, possibly, but it's very expensive to do it. In comparison to SpaceX Starlink that launches 50 plus satellites into orbit, and then the lower end comes back down to Earth or the ocean, and then lands on a drone ship and ferries it back to the mainland. It gets refueled and revamped and fixed, so to speak, and then off it goes again. Some of these rockets have launched about 7, 8, 10 times now. So the cost efficiency here is there. We don't see that with any other company that's launching rockets into space. So it's going to be cost prohibitive, let's say. It's going to cost a lot of money, number one. Also, number two, the FCC is going to pull the plug on the project if they can't launch 1,600 satellites by 2026. I mean, that's now less than 3 years away. That's not going to be an easy task to do. Let's do the math. So if we take 3 years or 36 months, and we know we need to get 1,600 satellites into orbit, we take 1,600 and divide that by 36, we end up with 44.4444. Let's call it 45 satellites per month need to be in orbit. All right? Now, that doesn't seem to be a lot when we talk about SpaceX Starlink because they're literally launching 100 plus sometimes in a week. But for the other companies, it might be an issue. What we also need to take into consideration is that they're going to probably fall back at least 4 or 5 months because they're going to launch test satellites up there and see if it's working before they go into mass production. And only then will they go into mass production. So the number of months will probably be reduced by another 6 or so. So now they're down to, let's say, 30 months to be able to put 1,600 satellites into low Earth orbit. It's just going to be a very difficult task for our friend over there, Jeff Bezos. I just don't think it's going to happen, in my personal opinion. Now, do I think that he's going to push forward with it to kind of, say, hey, we can do this and look at my yacht, the largest in the entire world, this kind of stuff. These people are always, yanking on each other's junk to say, hey, I'm bigger or badder than you, right? It's the billionaire thing. Whereas with Elon, he kind of does it underhanded, I live out of a house. I don't even own the house itself. I just live there. And if I'm not there, I'm like living on the couch over there at SpaceX trying to figure out what we're doing here. This kind of guy. But if you piss me off, I'm going to buy your company for $44 billion. How about that? So it's that kind of different way of underhandedly smacking the other billionaires. And I actually like it. All right. Because that's how I am. I'm like a dry kind of humor guy, So anyways, I want to know your thoughts about this. Do you think that this could happen? Now, I personally think that would be awesome if it does. And the reason being is competition. I've always said competition is everything. And when we don't have competition, we get the likes of Adobe, right? That sit there and screw their customers out of money weekly, monthly, yearly, because they just can. Because there's not a lot of competition until recently. So now that there is competition, well, they're not making as much as they used to. All right. Well, the same thing holds true with internet. When you have a lot of competition, what happens? The prices go down, as well as less data capping, because they're competing amongst each other. So I definitely think that this would be fantastic, and I hope this project gets off the ground, pardon the pun. I hope that these test satellites prove to be worthy and they start mass producing, and that kind of pushes Elon to lower and lower and lower the price. Now, I was going to do a piece today about prices being lowered in Japan, as well as I believe Australia and a lot of other places where the pricing is really, really dropping when it comes to SpaceX Starlink's hardware, as well as the monthly service. We're not seeing that in the US. Why? Because he doesn't need to do it. In other countries, fiber is more available, as well as I call it fat copper. So getting SpaceX Starlink is not as needed unless you're truly in a rural environment. Here in the United States, also, fiber, there's a lot of it, but the problem is that fiber is not in the rural environments at all. So SpaceX Starlink has been doing really well. They started out with about 100,000, 150,000, and literally in just over a year, they hit 1 million. Literally 1 million customers on SpaceX Starlink now. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So what do you guys think? Do you think Jeff Bezos's Amazon's Project Kuiper could actually be that dark horse and beat out SpaceX Starlink? Or do you think it can't? Do you think that it's possibly too late already? I want to know your thoughts. So down in the comment area below, let's have this discussion. What do you think? Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you have, throw this video a thumbs up. Like I said before, subscribe to the channel, click on this little button over here and all the things. And finally, head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find all the photography tools that I've invented for you and me over the years. And hopefully there's something there that you might like. And if there is, please pick it up and support me and my family. That's it, guys. I'm out of here for the end of the vlog. Many blessings to you and your family. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you in the next one. Love you all.